I am here to talk about old Bonegrinder. He were a very old commenter. I finally got back to you. Took me a while. I'm trying to catch up with a lot of the requests for videos and stuff, because the moment I started begging, you all started giving back, and I'm like, oh, wait, no. I was not expecting that. So thank you everyone for all the suggestions and stuff.
We interrupt this broadcast for a very special announcement. Oh, hello. What the fuck are you doing in my house?
The beautiful Cheese Jake beanie. Buy yours today for only insert price here, and you can be the best DM that ever lived. Side effects may include getting all the bitches, looking swag, being a great DM, getting photoshopped into abominations like cheese, watermelon, and spiders, ascending to godhood. Terms and conditions apply. It even looks good on a dog. No, this is not actually a purchasable product for now, but would you be interested in purchasing? Let us know in the comments.
And now, back to the scheduled broadcast.
Nevertheless, I'm here to talk about old Bonegrinder, which is the windmill that the creepy 3 old ladies work on. So, let's get the obvious thing right out of the way first. Night hags. They are difficult, very difficult. And I honestly think whatever happens in old Bonegrinder stays there. If the party go in there, they've already doomed themselves. They should know that this is a bad idea. So, I think that the first bit of advice I'd give is don't change it. I've seen a lot of people say, we downgraded it to green hags because green hags make more sense for the challenge rating. I agree somewhat, but at the same time, you can just get rid of one of the hags, and now they're really not as powerful as they were earlier. Their immense amount of hit points is a problem, but their hag coven only works when they're all within 30 feet of each other. Their massive list of spells that they have does not work if even one of them is not in the windmill. And I think that, I found this on the subreddit, so thank the subreddit for this, but it's kind of important to note that Morgantha, which I believe is her name, yeah, Morgantha is a businesswoman, right? She's not always going to be in there. And that's a good way to perhaps balance out the encounter. I think that 2 night hags are really, really difficult for a party to beat at levels 1 to maybe 4 or 5, but they're easy enough to run away from. They deal decent damage with their claws, and that's about it when they don't have much else to do. Sure, they might have some other tricks up their sleeve, but nothing that's going to instantly mess with a level 4 to 5 party. I think that's the key. And I think it makes sense as well, because Morgantha isn't always going to be in the windmill. In the module she is, but then there's also an event where she's in the village of Barovia. Perhaps she's most of the time in the village of Barovia or Gollaglee, just kind of walking around selling her goods and going. That makes the encounter easier to do and throw on your players, so that they kind of learn, oh shit, these hags are dangerous, and there's only 2 of them, but there's supposed to be 3. And players might infer that, you know, in a lot of media, witches come in 3s. Frickin' Macbeth, and you got Hocus Pocus, and they work great in a 3. But if there's only 2, they might like click on to, oh shit, there's one missing, and we still got wrecked. So yeah, I think that that's a decent thing to do. However, if they are levels, I'm gonna say 6 or 7 here, you can put Morgantha in, because then big spellcasty ladies are going to be nothing, when most of them at that point are likely to have magical weapons, big spells, big ways to counter the spells, and ways to fuck with them in big ways. And even if you run it as intended in the modules, players are going to find a way to run. I was watching Into the Mist, and one of them in the encounter, which was the DMs running it in the book, so they had a hag coven to deal with, one of them casted Silence. It hit basically the entire windmill. And the hags were then just claw machines, and their team of fighter, paladin, and ranger just fucked them up. And yeah, I think that there's ways for the player to get around it, even if. But if you look at your players' character sheets, if you can, and you're just like, yeah, they're fucked, then maybe take one out. And when they start taking half damage and like you describe that they barely take a scratch and then they deal 15 damage in a hit, the party are probably going to run, and they're safe to do so. There's not too much risk behind it. In terms of it itself, I think that the module does a decent job of just writing it in a way that says to the party, hey, bad idea to walk in here, don't do that. Like when they walk in and they look around and they don't even have to make an investigation check to see all the kids' bones on the frickin' floor. Yeah, it's... I think a decent example of the encounter going thankfully well is the stream game, where the party entered, one of the characters tried to sneak in and steal one of their chickens, and after getting too scared they ran back out. It was great. While we were streaming it, there was like the typical I will slay all evil dude in there, and he was like, well, we gotta go in, if there's evil in there we need to get rid of it, and everyone else was like, ah! And I loved how Ryan in the chat to us in text was just like, please stop me, someone. I loved that. But yeah, it does a great job of keeping the party away. Another thing I'd like to note that this module doesn't particularly go into, but if you look into hags, is their spells are kind of just things around them, right? I think that if you describe the place, the windmill is very cluttered. You can use that to reason that. So, for instance, let's look at the spellcasting that they have access to. Let's look at the spells that they have. So, by default, if you run them as is, they're big spells that you're likely to be using as stuff like Hold Person, Lightning Bolt, Phantasmal Killer, stuff like that. So you could take, say, a bottle full of lightning and just chuck it. That's Lightning Bolt, right? Hold Person is you take out a needle and you just stab your hand with it, and then, oh, they just took a bunch of frickin' psychic damage because they felt that. Eye Bite. They take out a big old eye and it just stares at them, that sort of thing. Hags generally can kind of spellcast by using the weird items around them to their own advantage. I think that also something very fun could be, so I know that Baba Lysaga has one in Berez, but you could also give like maybe Morgantha the cart the ability to kind of fly and go invisible. I don't know, that only she can do. But that would be fun as hell. Let's also talk about dream pastries. I think that dream pastries play into the very thankful situation that it is possible that the party will not want to try and kill them outright, because it is very much feasible that an angry paladin or an angry good person just in general is going to want to kill the hags when they find out that they're cooking kids. And the dream pastries is kind of a way to counter that a little bit. By offering them something to buy from the hags, it eases the party a little bit more into the social mood rather than the holier-than-thou conquest mode. And dream pastries are a great way of doing that. It's a hefty con save, DC 16, and lasts for 1d4 plus 4 hours. And they are just basically incapacitated and they can't move, and they're just like that, basically. That's what they do. It's great flavour as well. It takes them out of Barovia for a bit, gives them lovely little dreams, far removed from the evils of the world. It's genuinely nice for a character to go through. For an example of what I did with this, check out the stream, because one of the characters ate one of the pies and then they went back home to a lovely little farm with their lovely family and chilled there for a bit, and the family was dead. In any case, that was very, very fun to work with. I don't have too much to say about the rooms in particular, other than apparently you can have one of the magic items here, which I wouldn't really put it there. I wouldn't, maybe the tome. I don't know, maybe the hags just know all the shit about Strahd. Or maybe the amulet. Who knows? You could put something in there if you wanted. I just personally wouldn't if I had the choice, which you do as the DM. I did the card reading on Roll20, which it gives you, but I pre-did it, so I chose, and I don't think I put any of the treasure in Bonegrinder, because frankly it's pretty close to the entrance. In any case, thank you for watching. This was a shorter one, I imagine, at least to my memory. If you liked it, make sure you click the like button, which tells us that you like it. Comment if I missed anything perhaps, and join our Discord if I really missed anything and you need to frickin' rant to the entire server. We've got a lot more stuff going on there. I might even host a Castle Ravenloft one-shot there at some point. Who knows? In any case, subscribe if you enjoyed it, so that you can be notified about more stuff, and see you in the next one. Bye. Very, 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 very difficult.